my people? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for another show. And you know what, man? It's been a while since we did the late vibes. I know it's not late in New York, but listen, you go join us, man. You're part of UK crew, man. So, you know what I mean? You're joining the late vibe show. And yeah, man, we got a lot to discuss, man. A lot to discuss.
7 p.m. is
Tomorrow's
late.
game. Hey?
7 p.m. is late.
Yeah, listen, it ain't easy right now. It ain't easy.
You're right.
Tell you that, man. Can't tell you, it ain't easy right now. But yeah, man, we're gonna get into it. We've got Charlie. You were there on Saturday, soaking wet outside Old Trafford. But how are you, man? How you been since the defeat? How's your mood been since?
I'm still very angry. Like, I'm usually quite a composed person, but I've got a lot of things to say today. I'm not very happy. But luckily, I've got the university. Like the last couple of days, I've been in uni all day. Like, so I've just been distracted. When I get home from uni, I sit down, I look on Twitter. Still, like, people are debating, and I'm debating with lots of people. So yeah, I've got a lot to say. But I hope everyone's well. Get in the chat, get your comments in, get the likes up, and big up everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, man, definitely got to get the likes up and get in the comments. If you've got something to say it, people. And big up to 40 Fanatics. Oh, man. We got a lot to talk about today, man. But how are you, man?
I'm all right. I'm chilling, bro. Thank you for having me. It was a miserable weekend, but we're here, man. We're here smiling, happy, and I'm on a episode with great gentlemen, great crew of people, man.
Come on. Definitely. Staffy, I know I've been hearing, man, you're not happy, man. Someone in the chat saying Staffy's not happy, man. How are you anyway?
Listen, when you said that there's we need to debate, the first thing that came to my head, what is there to debate? You know, because to me it's going to be no debate. You know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to start aggressive. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to just thank you for having me. I'm going to say I'm sorry, the gentleman in the middle. Your name, bro?
Charlie.
It's my first time working with you. Big up, Charlie. Obviously, who's this guy above the New York fraud? Nah, I'm just kidding. Big up Omar. Big up Griggs. And listen, everyone here in the chat, make sure you're hitting the likes, subscribe if you're new, and listen, buckle up because I have a few things to say. I was waiting for the call up from Saeed because, you know, I got to make sure that every platform I'm on knows where I stand on this. So we'll get to it, though.
Definitely, man. And Griggs, man, you know what I'm saying? No Casemiro to blame, but who are you going to blame today, man? But how are you, man, Griggs?
No Anthony to blame, too. No Anthony to blame.
Yeah, no Anthony as well. Yeah.
I'll throw shade for Anthony. Don't worry. I'll find my way to throw shade. But nah, I'm doing good. Obviously, bundling up right now because it's freaking brick out here in New York. One day is 80 degrees, the next day is 40 degrees. So Mother Nature got to solve that. But nah, other than that, I'm doing good. I've kind of recovered from Sunday. I can't lie. I'm recovering slowly but surely. I'm saying off Twitter. I have not been on that app that much the last couple of days. I don't want to be on there because it's gonna be the same arguments, and I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of the same arguments today. So I'd rather do it on camera than over my keyboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get straight into it, man. Charlie, man, there's some latest news about Manchester United dressing room. Apparently, you know, they're not happy with Ten Hag's methods. Man United players are beginning to question Eric Ten Hag's tactics for the first time following their 3-0 derby defeat against Man City. The Dutchman made his players sit in silence in the changing room at Old Trafford and listen to Man City's celebrations at full time. I mean, Charlie, man, have they got right to question the manager after what he pulled up on Sunday, etc., etc.? Like, where are you in terms of the kind of leaks coming out today and players not really understanding the methods at the minute?
I think the players and the manager are both equally culpable for Sunday's game. So I'm not going to back one of them or the other. I think they both deserve a lot of criticism, to be truthful with you. The manager's approach, the manager's sort of team selection completely baffled me at the start. Dropping Varane, it wasn't because he was injured. It's dropping Varane for Evans. He talked about the fact that he wanted Evans. Maguire's better on the right-hand side. He wanted Evans on the left-hand side because he's better with his left foot. But Johnny Evans hardly progressed play with his left foot throughout the whole game. He just kept going back and back and back. He looked very shaky on the ball. He obviously started Lindelof at left back. The way that City pressed meant that we couldn't progress down that left-hand side. They targeted us. We couldn't get down that side. And we did get a little bit of joy at the start when we were dragging Rodri out of position and we were playing a longer ball up to Hoyle and getting it down. He chests it down and we played off McTominay. We had a few moments in the first 20 minutes, but the penalty obviously was not a penalty, and that's a shocking decision, but still it wasn't good enough. So yeah, the manager's approach, it was okay for the first 20 minutes, but still to drop your best defender for a Manchester derby and to drop your only natural left back was for me calamitous. And to play Eriksen in a game, you haven't started Eriksen in the games that suit Eriksen's style of play, and you start Eriksen in a game where you're going to need players who have got that tenacity out of possession. Eriksen didn't do too bad. It was just as bad as everybody else, really, I think. But like to do that is another awful decision. And then Amrabat coming up, there's so much wrong with it. But the players as well, Saeed, the players were shocking. Other than Onana, I thought Maguire actually did. I haven't actually rewatched the game, but Maguire's general play was okay. I don't know whether he was at fault for the goals because I haven't rewatched them since I was live in the stadium. But Maguire, again, his general play was okay. And Onana was brilliant. But other than that, the rest of them, disgrace.
Absolutely. We got Neeks in the building. Hope you're well, Neeks.
Yeah, big up yourself. Big up the panel.
Yeah, big up Neeks, man. It's been a while. Omar, man. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I can't lie to you. I don't really see the future with Ten Hag. If I'm being honest with you, I just don't see what he's bringing. But yeah, I mean, can you see a plan? You know, do you know what the game plan is for us right now? I mean, Man City was quite bad, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I want to know if anybody's, got an opinion about there is tactics as to what we're trying to do. What's the game from Ten Hag? But Omar, what are you thinking about the manager's kind of tactics at the minute and what he's trying to do?
The tactics. Listen, I'm a supporter of him still, but the tactics have been horrible. They've been really, really bad since the start of every performance we played. I don't think we've had a good game. I don't think we showed what type of style we're playing and how even, if we have a just character on the field in general. All the signings he got had rough starts, some had okay starts. I don't want to call out his player ID yet still because last season out of 5, 1 technically wasn't up to standards, which was Anthony. So this season, but bar last season, I just believe all teams were just weak. But this season has just been really bad, bro. But he faced a lot. He faced the Anthony drama. He faced the Sancho drama. Obviously the whole takeover drama, the injuries. But every club faces his injuries. So playing plays out of position. So our start, like for example, Lisandro Martinez, that's a big piece to the puzzle to how we ball. And he's not there available. Now you have to resort, like you said, to Johnny Evans, to Maguire that we wanted to sell. But granted, he's been decent, so we can't pick on him. So it's one of those I'm 50-50 about. I don't want to really say he's out yet, but at the same time, he's hanging by a thread. That's where he at in my book. Like, bro, you hanging by a thread, bro. Like, it's looking long right now because that last performance was just horrible. Like, we really got bopped. We got bopped, bro. Like,
man.
Oh my God.
Facts, man, 100%. I mean, Staffy, man, it wasn't hard to kind of beat United, man. That's the familiar story, innit, this season. It's not hard to beat United or not even hard to play against Man United, man. Ten Hag has made us so like tactically weak and almost like easy to play against, man. There's no method to the plan.
Said, I'm not gonna lie. I have so much that I want to say. I'm just trying to stick to the point that you're asking me about. Because if you give me free reign, I'll go on for 10 minutes. I'm just gonna stick to your point. This guy's an absolute fraud, bro. Let's just keep it simple. I'm gonna say it for Omar since Omar won't say it. Neeks, you can sit there and look mind boggled, but I mean, is it really that surprising to say that? The guy's a fraud, bro. It's that simple. There's nothing to be 50-50 about. Okay. The man is sitting there. You know when I read the news that you just told us about, Said, when he had the players sit there and listen to the City players celebrate. First of all, that's not the first time this happened. I swear that happened either under Ole or Mourinho. So I'm getting flashbacks again. I'm tired of these flashbacks that I've been getting for the past 6 years coming back to haunt me this year. I know it's Halloween, but stop haunting me. I don't want no more haunting, okay? The guy's an absolute fraud. You're making them sit there and listen to the other team celebrate like that would have done anything. How about you shut up, you sit there, and you listen to them because you're the reason that you cost us this game. Because we sit here so many times and we know when players haven't done well, we didn't feel like that this game. We just felt like the players don't know what to do. And that mainly comes down to this manager and his decisions. No one told you. These players did not tell you, hey, pick me. I want to start today. You chose that 11, and you came on pause for the show, before the game, on the interview, and they asked you, why did you do that? And you were like, that smirk, I just keep dreaming of it still. Tactic. Bro, shut up, bro. Shut up. You have no tactics, bro. You just got tactically outdone by Pep. You did major changes to that lineup where everyone thought that was suicidal. Apparently everyone but you. And then you gave him the game in the second half by your changes, and you made the team worse at halftime. Any manager, by the way, who makes his team look worse after making changes at halftime needs to be questioned. And that's what he did. There's so many things that I could mention. I'm just mentioning these few things right now, and I'm sure I'll get to the rest of it, but as the show goes on. But just these things on its own, and then you're sitting there and you're saying, "Oh, I made them sit there and listen to Manchester City team celebrate." You're the reason they were in that situation anyways, because you picked this team and you put the tactics and you made the changes and you made the team worse. So what are they listening to? Like, I honestly want to know, what are you punishing for? Because these are your players. These are the players that you signed, and these are the players that you choose not to drop. And the ones that you dropped obviously never came on, the likes of Varane or whatever. So what are you having him sit there and listen to? Like, what was the point of that? He's just trying this whole alpha personality that he's been trying since he came to this team. Did that with Ronaldo. Granted, that's a different situation. I think he was right with that. Doing the same with Sancho. Did the same with De Gea. Doing that now with some other players. Bro, cut that alpha shit out, because you're not that guy. Stop acting like you're that guy. Everything he's trying to do shows that, oh, listen, I'm the guy. I'm the manager. I do this. I do that. Bro, how about you put some tactics on the pitch and stop worrying about all that alpha shit that you're doing in the locker room? Because clearly it's not working on and off the pitch. And I've had it up to here with him.
You know
strong
what?
words, man.
You know
Strong
what?
words. Yeah,
Obviously,
go on, Nix.
Safi said, well, big up first for having me on. Obviously, it's been
Have his side, man. Come
on. The reason why he said I googled whatever the term was, because it's the term fraud. Now, obviously, how you express yourself is how you express yourself, whether you mean literally or just in the reality that he's getting it wrong or he's not able to coach the players is one thing. Whether it's being used in the way that it was for someone like Ollie, because that's a common term that was used throughout Ollie's reign, especially, the last 18 months or so. It's like, is he an Ollie fraud, or are you just saying things are bad? Because it's not like he doesn't have a track record. Ollie didn't have a track record. Arsenal fans who were calling Arteta a fraud in the first 2 years he didn't have a track record. Ten Hag's got a track record that a lot of Man United fans, including myself, was happy to see him come in and hopefully implement those things into the club. Now, obviously, those things are not happening right now, and they may never happen. He may get sacked before that happens. But the reason why my face was like that, because fraud. Wow. Obviously, if you're emotional, you can say anything you want.
No. He is a fraud. It took me 3 days to say that.
Cool. I'm not going to police it, but that's why I made the face that I did.
There's so many more reasons, Nick.
I know it's fine.
I was gonna say the only reason I didn't is because I need everyone else to speak. I'm not trying to
sit
here
that's fine.
and hug it.
I'm not here to defend Ten Hag. There's a lot of things that are indefensible, like when he says, I picked Maguire or Evans over Ran as a tactical decision. I can't defend that. That's indefensible. Regular not starting, however, he's been out injured, so that's understandable. So there's one thing here, the one thing another. But me and Saeed's had this discussion before with previous managers, and I would hope that based on those previous discussions, he knows that I ain't gonna be calling for the manager's head, because I feel we are back where we have been every 2 years for the last 10 years. We are in that situation right now every 2 years for the last 10 years, where the first year of the manager, everyone has they might have hope because of who the manager is when we get them. The first year isn't as bad as it was the year before, so we have a bit more hope. And then maybe the second year or the third year goes the complete opposite direction, and we're calling the manager a fraud, we're calling them a puppet, we're saying that they ain't got no tactics, they've lost the dressing room, ultimately they then get sacked. Now, I'm not saying that those managers who were sacked at the points that were sacked, whether they were right or wrong to be sacked, most of it, if not all of it, they need to be sacked at those points. But yet we are still here 2 years later. So clearly, shouting from the rooftops.
No, 100%. The bigger issues at the
Ten
football
Hag
club.
out, 10 Hag
Also,
out.
equally,
It's
can
not
two
about,
things be mutually exclusive? Can two things be mutually exclusive?
I'm not defending him. I'm not saying you're even wrong for saying he should go. I'm saying I'm not going to be calling him out because I know based on the last 10 years, just over the last 2 years, but based on the last 10 years, that's shouting from the rooftops to get rid of the manager, getting rid of the manager with no real plan to get the second manager. Because when you look at it, Jose was sacked mid-season. Oli was sacked mid-season. Those seasons went to complete pot. We're gonna maybe let's say for argument's sake, those who want him to go, want him sacked, get sacked mid-season. We ain't got no plan in place. We write this season off with the moment we sack him because we know who our owners are. And then what is the plan going forward? To be back here in 2 years? So I'm not saying he should keep his job or he should be sacked, whatever. What I'm saying is I know that sacking the manager, Ten Hag or whoever it is, right now is not going to solve any problem, but for the self-gratification of football fans who can't take the pain anymore. Well, I'm just going to let you know, sacking Ten Hag ain't going to ease that pain. Maybe in the very, very short term, but it's going to come right back. So I'm not going to be shouting from the rooftops. But you're right. There are a lot of decisions he's made that are indefensible. And I can't defend it. But I ain't shouting to sack him. Forget about it.
Before I bring in Griggs, I'm going to get a couple of super chats in. He says, YUFC, big up to you. Goes, can't lie. All this really matters. This matter 10, 20 years to 100 years. I don't think United will ever compete for a title in my lifetime. Maybe 2100s. Yeah, listen, that's crazy. Gerard Smith says, what manager can fix this low IQ mentality players? Pep would sell Rashford and Bruno, let's be honest. And shout out to Aston Villa fan in the panel. Watkins, in it? Watkins, yeah.
You don't know, Said? No, it's not even Watkins. This guy put on a Villa jersey after we lost to City. This guy's a fraud. Let me just tell you.
No, we'll get
Omar
we'll
up here is an actual fraud.
It was a retro Mustafa Hadji Villa shirt, and then it was a track jacket. It was a track jacket. So, but shout out to people.
We'll let you off.
Yeah, LFC better put me on the spot quick with a super tattoo.
Yeah,
dangerous.
He paid money to expose you. He paid money. He really wanted to expose you.
When I seen, I said, "Damn,
crazy." But now, listen, Griggs though, like, has League's got a point, or do we just blindly follow the manager, Griggs? Like, you know what I mean? It's difficult, man, because I don't know, man. I'm watching this and I'm like, I ain't really got no hope with this because I'm more disappointed. I'm not calling Ten Hag a fraud. Obviously, I said he was pathetic on my match reaction, but I said the tactics were pathetic. I didn't call him literally pathetic. I called what he did and what he resembling right now as pathetic because what he put out there was pathetic. But talk to me, Griggs, like, where are you with the manager in terms of what he's bringing right now in terms of the tactics?
I'm stuck between like Staffy's point and Neek's point. Like for me, I think fraud is the wrong word. I think coward is the better word for me because I think Said, you were the first one that put the tweet up, the video clip of when he said that he doesn't want to bring the Ajax style to Man United.
Yeah,
that's the reason he was hired. Let's be real. Man United did not hire him to play this style of football. They hired him because they figured that he'd bring this attractive style that would entertain fans and kind of keep the fans off the back of like the ownership and stuff like that, because if we're happy with the style of play, we're going to ignore the bigger issue of the football club because we're going to be blindsided by the style of play. Instead, he said he doesn't want to do that. Okay, so because he said he doesn't think the players can suit the style. That's fine. There's plenty of managers out there that build a system based on the players they have. Carlo Ancelotti has been doing this for the last 25 years of his managerial career. I'm fine with that. But this system that he's currently using is not to the strengths of our players. It's the strength of no one except our opponents because our opponents capitalize on all our mistakes. You brought in a bunch of different players. I think I remember when we did this debate show last season too, I said Ten Hag's biggest issue in the summer he has to solve is what style does he want his team to do? What direction does he want to take us? And he said in the summer, transitional. Okay, you want to play transitional, but you're not even playing traditional football right now. You know why? Because we're crap in the counterattack. This is the worst counterattack in Man United side in my lifetime. At least under Ole, I was seeing Dan James, Rashford, and Martial on the counterattack. They were lethal in the counterattack. Even Ole for me adjusted to the squad better when he moved Pogba to left wing instead of keeping him in the midfield. That's adjusting to your player's strengths. Right now, is there a player in our squad that Ten Hag has fixed the system to play to his strengths? Because we're not playing to Rashford's strengths because he's playing left mid when he's an inside forward. We're not playing to Højlund strikes because we're pumping the ball along to him for him to compete in aerial duels when he's one of the worst strikers in aerial duel percentages in Europe. He's a ball to feet. We're not playing to Bruno strengths either. We're not playing to the midfield strengths because Casemiro or Amrabat isolated. He's the one that persisted to the board. Amrabat, no matter what. So you bring in Amrabat, right? You keep him isolated. He's not playing. He's not the Amrabat that we all saw at Fiorentina. He's not even the Amrabat that we saw in Morocco. You're keeping him isolated, and then you sub him off in the 45th minute every match to bring in a more attacking midfielder against Man City, which is the best attacking team in world football. For me, it just makes no sense to me. I'm not gonna say I'm Erik ten Hag out, but like if he had gotten sacked on Monday morning, I really wouldn't care. I'd be like, okay, whatever, move on, get me a better manager. It's just for me, I just don't see his point right now. He's clearly feeling the pressure because if he wasn't feeling pressure, he would not be bringing on Mason Mount in the 45th minute for a defensive midfielder because he's really concerned about the goals. But that's his fault. Our attack, when I look at our attack, they look nothing in cohesion. They have no idea what to do. I have not seen a pattern of play from our attack all season, maybe except the Spurs game when we attacked good in the first 45 minutes. So where is the coaching? You're meant to be the coach. Maybe he's not doing enough coaching and he's letting this Vandergag do the assistant coach do the coaching. Be the coach. Get on the training pitch and tell them what to do. Players today are not. It's not 2003 anymore, where players are these like magicians, the creative, that they can figure everything out. It's 2023. We all say system is king in football these days. So build your system and tell these players where to be on the pitch, how to build the patterns of play. Because right now I'm just seeing 11 individuals on the pitch, and that's not the player's fault. I think I remember when Ten Hag got when he got hired. I'm like, this is the one manager I think I'm never gonna blame. It's gonna be on the players. But I'm feeling the complete opposite right now. It's on the manager, not these players, because when 11 people look lost, it's on the manager. It can't be on the players. That's not how football works. We did the same thing with Ole. When Ole's team looked crap, we blamed it all on Ole. We did not blame the players. So we got to keep the same standards for him, and he has to clearly fix up. Otherwise, I'm sure when Jim Ratcliffe comes in, he's gonna look at that Sporting side, and he's not getting results. I'm sure he has a couple managers in his like little pocketbook that he's like, okay, maybe I can convince him to come to Man United. So it's either fix up or get out, pretty much.
But this is it. When you said that if on Monday morning if you woke up and he will sack, you say whatever. And again, everyone's free to feel how they want. I would be annoyed, not for Ten Hag, like not to say, oh, you deserve to stay, but we're gonna have a bunch of players who have survived yet another manager. And most of them, at least half of them, don't deserve to survive another manager. And then we're gonna have a ownership and a board that is then put in charge to hire yet another manager when they've been failing for the last 10 years. So I would actually be disappointed that, boy, we're actually back on the merry-go-round. At least if we know when Jim Ratcliffe comes in, if he does come in, he's not going to have the overall power, but you hope that he can have an influence on the sporting side. And if the direction he wants to take Man United is to improve on a sporting level, as he says, I'll be much more comfortable if that change is made after that point, as opposed to the Glazers making another managerial appointment, because it hasn't worked.
Absolutely. No, 100%. 100%. It hasn't worked, and sacking managers doesn't show for anything. I'm going to bring Marcel involved because he's staunch Erik ten Hag fan, and you know what, he's sticking by him, and I'm sure most of the people are. But we had a discussion on Saturday and whatnot, and Sunday, and we were like, yo, man, back and forth. But can you tell me, Marcel, what our style of play is in a minute? Like, be honest. Like, can you explain to people what the style of Erik ten Hag is?
Well, right now we're in a crisis. Firstly, Evelyn, sorry I'm late, Saeed, man. I had my internet.
No, anytime, bro. Anytime.
Sorry about that, bro. And just Evelyn, everyone, man. Hope you're all doing well. Obviously, it's a poor performance. It was a poor performance the other day, but our style of play, what he's trying to do, which he can't do right now because of the current crisis we're in, is he wants to play football from the halfway line. We've seen our best performance against Arsenal Football Club where we forced them into a mid-block. So when we've got the right kind of, once we've got a good defensive line and our regular defensive, our regular defensive players that were so brilliant last season at home, once you've got that in there, plus Onana, you're able to build up from the back and get into the midfield third. That's when we was having a lot of issue and the ball was breaking down against Arsenal. So that's what we're trying to do. When you're in this current crisis where you have to be forced to play Maguire and Evans, that's where you're seeing a situation right now where there's no style of football clearly, and we're rushing or we're going long all the time, which was what was happening in the game on Sunday. But Onana was trying to do it because we were protecting the middle, and it was Højlund by himself because they were trying to press in a 4-4-2 shape. So I just think right now we're in a massive crisis. The back four is not there. The forward line is still a
No,
young
hold on a
forward
minute.
line.
The back four was there because he had Varane available and
Thank
he
you,
had
Saeed.
regular left back.
Thank you,
Stop. That's
Saeed.
not the
Okay,
back
so-
four he means, though, bro. That's
so-
not
so-
the back four he means.
so-
Lissandro,
No, but-
Shaw, Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on top of that,
Go
I
on.
do agree with you, Said, though, because these footballers were available. But I think there's a difference between being available and being match fit and being physically fit. You know, he's available to play, but has he played 90 minutes in a row where he's able to play in a top flight football match against Man City? Unfortunately, he's not available. So you're going to play the more readily available footballer in Evans or Maguire. Doesn't that make sense?
I feel like he's inconsistent with it though, because he rushes Martinez. What he does is he rushes his favourites into the team, but the players that you would think, right, they can go back in and slot back in and we'd be actually more balanced. He takes forever to kind of put them in. I don't know if you've noticed that pattern, but Anthony comes straight into the team. You're looking at who else is it? Anyone else that gets injured, they're straight into the team.
Bruno was in
Have
a
you noticed
cast
the
and then
guys-
he played 3 days later. Remember last season? He was in a cast and then 3 days later he was playing in the cup or whatever it was. You guys remember that last season?
So that's where my inconsistency is coming. I feel like for me, I don't think Reguilon. So tactically, when you say, let's say Lindelof can he said he can invert better than Reguilon. I don't think he can. He struggled once to get in behind that Man City press and get in that ball and play it into Amrabat. Not once did he do it. Every time he kept going over the ball and out of play, basically. So he's not comfortable in that position.
Yeah, again. So that was a situation where, like I'm explaining to you, this is a footballer that's just come back from illness or whatever in Reguilon. So are you going to play someone that's maybe at 60, 70%, or somebody that's just been playing readily? It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Let's be honest. Even the fact that he has to select Reguilon is a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Or not, maybe not that, but it's just a difficult situation to be in. You know, imagine you having to put out your third choice left back in the Premier League against City. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So there was going to be inevitability about what we were going to see in that fixture. So for people to be calling for his head on this fixture alone and in the predicaments that have been happening this season, I don't see it. Give the man more time. Let him do his work. Wait for all the footballers to come back.
What did I meant to give him more time for?
And then you'll be able to see this build-up pattern that in the defensive line and hopefully more structure in the forward line as well in terms of attacking.
What am I meant to give him more time for when I see he's confused with most of the players that he already signed? Because we can sit here and we can beat the bush around Reguilon all we want, but at the end of the day, he's the one who signed him. He chose to sign him. Yes, it was an emergency signing, but he chose to sign him. And then you're going into a game saying he's not good at inverting. Why did you sign him then? You could have went into the season knowing Luke Shaw and Malacia are injured, and you're like, you know what? It doesn't matter because Lindelof can invert. So I'm going to use him anyways. That's the plan for me this season. So why did you sign this player if he doesn't do if he doesn't apply the tactics that you signed him for or that you need in this team? Same thing, because that's what I'm saying. I can go down a list of players that played in this game, and I can have the same question. Because you signed Mason Mount as an example, 60 million, put him on the bench for 3 games, and played McTominay, who you tried to sell on the deadline day. So how are you meant to tell me that this is the profile that you needed when everyone in the United fan base was divided? Most of us thought, listen, Mount might be decent, but we don't think he's what we need. We need a Frankie de Jong type of player in this team. And he wants to get Mount. And then in the biggest game of the season, you are benching him to play McTominay, who all of us thought, you know what, this doesn't look like the right decision, but let's see what he could do with it. Same as Anthony. A lot of us don't rate Anthony. And I tried to defend Anthony a lot. But we're looking at Anthony, and we're like, you know what? He didn't play against City. It's because he can't play transition football. You signed him knowing you can't play transition football. But you told us in the beginning of the season, you want to play transition football. So why did you sign him if you know he can't play in this game? And then he ends up putting Bruno on the right wing in a transition set formation. Bruno, who's not a transition player, and at least not on the wing, he could be in the middle. He could be the one spraying the balls, passing it left and right when we're on the counter. But you put him on the wing as one of our outlets when he can't even play that style. And you benched your 2 most expensive signings. And I'm meant to say, okay, let's wait and believe in him more. The guy doesn't even believe in himself. He doesn't know what he's doing. You can clearly look and tell when someone's out of his depth and he doesn't know what he's doing. And 2 days ago, was the epitome of that. So I can't sit here and just like have blind faith in him.
I'll bring Charlie in. Obviously, tactically, Charlie does his research and whatnot. But like, is it based on injuries? Why we're not fluid enough? And Marcel suggests that there's certain personnel in there. Like, are we giving Ten Hag a lot of excuses? Because I'm sorry, man. There's ways of approaching. You know what I mean? Players that are not injured and whatnot. There's ways of approaching it, but I don't think he has a plan. And when it's not going well for 45 minutes, he drastically changes it, and then even that becomes self-destructive because we get exposed, and that for me is it's not good man management. When last season I praised his man management skills, but this season he's regressed in that.
Yeah, I think Martinez and Shaw are big misses. I mean, they're two very, very good players in terms of build-up, but I said about Martinez at the time, and I get a lot of things wrong. I do the stuff on Twitter, and I'm no expert. I'm just saying I get a lot of things wrong. But I did say with Martinez, I said there's something not right with this guy. He keeps playing him. There's something not right. He's not performing well. There's something not right here. And as you said, he rushed him back to injury, and now we've paid the price even more from that. And you could actually argue, I don't know whether anyone's noticed about these muscle injuries. But it's no coincidence that we've got so many muscle injuries. Now, we don't know what would have happened if he would have rotated more last season. We don't know what would have happened if he would have dropped certain players and given them rest, etc. But I can guarantee to you the injuries would not be as bad. I think the approach that we've been going for, this transitional approach, when I heard that word transition in the summer, I was actually quite excited because what I thought he was going to do is I thought he's going to keep his positional principles, and he's going to have periods of controlling games in possession, but we're also going to have periods where we're transition-based teams. So I thought maybe when we're playing, teams in the bottom half, we'll be looking to minimize the transitions as much, the attacking transitions. We'll have more periods of control. And maybe against the top teams, going to Anfield, going to City, we'll have a more transition-based approach. Absolutely fine. I quite like pragmatic managers that adapt, etc. But my issue is that it's got too transition-based. And when you have a system that's too transition-based, players have to run further distances. You get more injuries, plus the lack of rotation. It's set up for absolute failure. So the injuries are tough, but the reason why we've got so many injuries, we don't know what proportion of that is down to the lack of rotation and the approach, but it's probably at least 50%. And we're hearing stories. I don't know whether you follow the United Muppeteers guy. He's got quite a few good inside sources. He's hearing a lot about from professional coaches that Man United are doing too much fitness, too much physical training in the midweek, and we're getting so many injuries out of it rather than tactical training. So I think Ten Hag, I have sympathies with him with a few things, but in the last few weeks, I've really got a lot more critical about him. And I think his in-game management, some of the decisions in who he's starting, but also the injuries that I think last season, none of us wanted to go out any of those competitions. We wanted to win trophies and fight for everything. But that was a big, big reason why we've got these injuries, because of what happened last season, the lack of rotation. And yeah, there you go.
King Stash, I say, how many times have we played a consistent lineup? Sorry, go on, Nix.
Like I said, the funny thing is, and again, I'm not saying anyone's wrong, but it's just that what I'm hearing now is like the complete opposite of what we heard during like Ollie's time. So you look at Solskjaer, and he's a puppet. He don't stand up to the players. They run all over him. He's too soft. He's too weak. Blah blah blah. Ten Hag, it's like, well, he's too disciplinarian. He's trying to be the alpha. He's too much, all that kind of stuff. And then you've got
when Jose did that, he was too alpha too.
Oh, it's the same thing. So we went from Jose, who was one, Ollie was accused of being the other. Ten Hag's now being accused of basically being Jose again. And then you look at even the rotation thing. Solskjaer rotated a lot for the cup competitions. Played a weak team when we went out to Leicester. I think it was an FA Cup. He was cussed for it. Obviously, we didn't win any trophies under him, but we played our best team generally in the Europa League or Champions League, and the Premier League, and rotated for the cups. And he was criticised for it. We ain't won a trophy. How can he disrespect? Ten Hag comes in, plays our strongest team throughout, wins a trophy, and then he's then criticised for not rotating. And it's like, well, we did rotate with a manager previously, and we realized, well, we were going out of the trophies because maybe those players weren't good enough. Now, I'm not saying again Ten Hag's done everything right or everything wrong, and Ollie was the savior, and we should never have sacked him, all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, it's like sometimes things ain't as simple as we make it. It looked like we just need some discipline. These players need
patience. We need
tell them
patience.
what to do.
But
We have
the
someone
thing is, though,
and they're criticized.
the thing is, though, we knew he was a good coach, Neeks. We knew he was a good coach. Okay, we knew that he was very, very strict and harsh, but we knew he was a good coach. My expectation from Ollie to Ten Hag has risen. So I feel like for me, I'm disappointed now. I'm not seeing. I'm not saying I don't want Ajax. I'm not saying we're not going to get Ajax because you need their structure, you need everything that comes with it. But we need to see something. And I don't, for me, see anything that resembles a Ten Hag team. I genuinely don't. And this was meant to be a year, guys, where it, for me, goes up a level. Last year, it was probably at, I would say, 50, 60% of what Ten Hag could do. I think now it's gone back down to 30%. We've regressed. And people can say it's injuries. I understand it's injuries, but you should see something. You should see patterns of what we're trying to do. Right now, we get dominated by Copenhagen. Every single team has domination periods against Man United, and we then open up in little singular moments. It's not sustained attacks. It's not sustained pressure. It's not sustained patterns. I don't see that, guys. So go on.
Now,
go on, Omar.
I mean, it's just I feel like it's a patience thing, though. We have to still ride it out. We have to ride out the storm until we can't take it no more. We've done this with many coaches in the past, and if we all look and then now, give all the rankings of these coaches that we had Jose, arguably one of the top coaches ever, but granted, he fell off before coming to us. He had already fallen off before coming to us. Same thing with LVG. LVG's just go with international ball. You get what I'm saying? David Moyes. We see West Ham get a couple wins, and everybody all of a sudden tells you, oh, we should have never sacked him. And now where they sitting? You get what I'm saying? So we got to move past that mentality where, like, perfect example is Arsenal with Arteta. Maybe, what was it, 2 seasons ago they were sitting like bottom of the league for like a quick minute, right? Or am I bugging?
They started the season 0-0 and 0 wins in the first 3, yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, they were slowly starting to get back.
Yeah, the manager was recruiting for one style of play. He wasn't spending 400 million or whatever it is in 2 summers to sign Ajax players just to say, I don't want to play Ajax style. Miss me with that, bro. You signed 4 Ajax players. You signed the goalkeeper from Ajax that you managed. You signed Anthony from Ajax. You signed Lissandro as your first signing from Ajax. That's 3 players. Who did I miss? He signed Eriksson. When he signed Eriksson, he was like, oh, I didn't coach Eriksson, but he played in Ajax and he understands the Ajax style of football. You said it yourself that he understands the Ajax style of football, which means, by the way, I don't want to hype up the Ajax style of football. At the end of the day, Ajax style of football is not rocket science. It's possession-based football. You came with a philosophy. We don't know. Listen, remember when he was having all these meetings with the Glazers and the boards and all that before he was given a job, and he wanted assurances over signings and this and that, and they wanted to make sure he's the right guy for the sign? They knew at the end of the day what he agreed on. We didn't. Now we're hearing about it when he says he's never going to play that. But back then, they knew what they were signing up for. My thing is, whatever style of play you want to play, whether it's position-based, transition-based, or a hybrid between the two, because he said he was trying to do a hybrid between Utrecht and Ajax style, whatever it is, recruit correctly for it. When I look at the recruitment and the type of players that he signed, especially when he started signing too many Ajax players and too many Dutch players that he wanted to bring to Ajax, and then you say, we will never play like Ajax, I have to look at you and say, you have no idea what you're talking about.
But then Staffy, the comments part in terms of what he's saying, I'm with you on that. When it comes to the recruitment, don't you think the issue is, let's say we were to sack him tomorrow and we're getting a new manager. Who's doing the recruitment? It's going to be the new manager, right? Because we don't have a structure like the top clubs do.
I agree.
So okay, he's doing the recruitment. Ain't that part of the issue in the first place? The fact that the manager has been given and I think whether it's him or the previous or the one after, the manager has been given the power to say, I want him, without no kind of I won't say no discussion, but it's like ultimately he has the authority, as opposed to certain other systems where you can say, yeah, the manager might be able to veto and say, no, I don't want that.
He's the one that demanded. He's the one that demanded it, though. That was part of his, like, when he came to Man United, bro. He had Ralf Rangnick. Ralf Rangnick could have worked with him.
No,
he could have worked with Ralf Rangnick. He had the DOF available to him.
That's
he
fine.
said no.
No, but the point I'm making is, can't you see if Ten Hag went to Real Madrid and he said, I want to be in control of X, Y, Z. I don't want that.
He never get control. He never get control.
Exactly. So you can see the
No,
problem here.
but we can't feel bad. But we can't feel bad for him
It's
when
not
like
about feeling bad. No, it's not about feeling bad for him. It's about, okay, we get rid of him. What? And the next manager comes, because every manager wants control, you know. Every manager. If you speak to every manager,
Sir Jim already said that he's not getting no control.
Yeah.
So Jim said no.
The reason why Paul Mitchell left Spurs was because he couldn't work with Pochettino. Pochettino wanted more control, and we saw the signings, the quality of them or the hit ratio reduce after Paul Mitchell left when Pochettino was in charge. Granted, it was only probably for.
To be fair, he got them good signings though. To be fair, he got them Son, Dele Alli.
Who got them?
Did he not get them? Paul Mitchell.
Yeah, the point I'm making is Paul Mitchell then left because Pochettino wanted more power, and Pochettino's findings without the director of football, obviously just Daniel Levy there, you saw the difference in the quality. The point I'm making is, cool, get rid of Ten Hag. Cool. The next manager comes in, demands exactly the same. They say yes because we ain't got a clue what we're doing. And then in 2 years, we're in the exact same position.
Well,
why did we give that manager?
The thing with the next manager, though, the next manager we're gonna assume is gonna get chosen by whoever the new sporting director is. That's what the plan is looking.
But who's the new? No, but if Ten Hag gets sacked tomorrow,
we're not hiring a permanent manager if Ten Hag gets sacked.
He's not going to get sacked anyway. He's not.
Why are we even saying that Ten Hag's going to get sacked? This is ludicrous.
No, that's a discussion.
How's it ludicrous?
It's a valid discussion.
No. It's not ludicrous. You know why? Because you know what? This season's repeating like 18-19. What happens come December 16th? If we're at a Champions League, we go to Anfield away. We get slapped up again 5-6, 7-0. We're 10th in the Premier League. Would you not sack him?
It's okay to Marcel. Marcel's going to say it's okay.
I'll tell you what. You know what, Said? I'll tell you what's going to happen December 16th.
Even if we finish at 8th place, 7th place, 10th place this season, you give him the season. Have you seen how we've started?
I would not do that. That's crazy.
You're going through the exact same cycle 4 times now. Some of these players, at least 20 of these players have seen new coaching staff, new coaches about 4 or 5 times now, and you'll want to sack them and for them to meet and shake hands.
Yeah, and he chose to trust them.
Did any of those previous managers before them finish?
He's only chose to trust 4 of them. He's only signed 4 of them on permanent contracts. The rest of them,
he gave one of them the armband.
11 new players. There's only he's signed 11 new players into the club throughout the windows. Loads as well. Players, but no, that's not that. It isn't. It
no,
isn't.
I'm sorry.
Look at
if this was happening last year, if this was happening last year in his debut season,
if you're looking at the bigger picture, when the training sessions are happening, there's 31 players there. Yeah, and at the end of the day, only a third of them are his. So you've still got elements of other managers, other styles of play.
Yeah, and he chose to play them in the derby when his signs were on the bench.
Injuries. There's injuries.
No, Mount was not injured. Anthony was not injured.
Mount has just come again, and I made it very clear before. There's a clear difference between they're humans. So when you've come back from a hamstring injury, you can't just run into the top flight best.
Marcel, no disrespect. I'm not taking your word versus the managers. The manager said tactic. I'm going by what the manager said. The manager told me it's tactic.
Yeah, tactic can also mean I play 50 games a season and I need to rest my footballer because I'm playing another game. That can also mean
you're just. That's not what he meant.
How do you know that? How does anybody know that?
Because I gotta take your word. I gotta hold you for your word, Marcel. If I ask you why were you late to sideshow, and you say, "Listen, I was grabbing a drink, I was eating," I'm holding that against you. That was your word. I'm not gonna sit here and wonder, is he lying or is he telling me the truth? You said this. I'm holding that word against you.
I'm not saying he's telling the truth. I'm saying I'm interpreting it differently. I'm not saying if I'm.
You're interpreting in the way that you want to, Marcel. That's what you're doing. You're interpreting the way that you want.
One second, madam. I'm going to read this super chat here from Abdishek. It's a good super chat, to be fair. Our standards have fallen so much that winning the Carabao Cup and finishing 4th gives a manager credit in the bank. He was brought in to win Premier League, UEFA Champions League. He built his style of play after 2 games last season. You know. Let me ask you a question though.
Bro, that's a nonsense super chat, bro. It's a nonsense super chat.
No. I think
the Europa League semi-final.
No, but the thing is though, but you know why it's not. You know why it's not a nonsense super chat because Marcel's saying that it's okay to finish 8th and 10th, and then next season he's available. Next season he's allowed to stay in still.
Yeah, because but I'm thinking bigger picture side. You're thinking very small right now. Think of the 10 years under the Glazonomics. And the reality,
I
when
understand
our
that.
rivals, our next door neighbors have grabbed 6 Premier Leagues
I
in
get
the last
that.
10 years. They've
So-
just
I
got
get
a
that.
treble, which
Okay, I have a
cancels out
question.
our
I have a
whole
question.
history.
You would keep a manager.
you just-
When I
okay,
look
hold
at
on a
our
minute. So you
squad,
just-
when I look at our 31-man squad compared to their 31-man squad and the level of quality, I have to say, well,
Yeah, but he
we're
spent
definitely not going to finish
4 million,
first,
He
second, or
spent 9
third.
million, actually.
I'm sorry. You
So
cannot
then I
spend
have to
400. You cannot
modulate
spend
where we're at.
400 million. You cannot spend 400 million.
Arsenal went through this process where they were low. They were eighth.
But with
They had
Arsenal,
to
you
build,
saw a
that's the
style of
build.
play. Arteta, it was clearly the principles were getting installed, and he was signing players based on his profile. We're not doing that.
Not in the first 18.
You know
We
what?
are. We actually are.
Let me.
What style of play are we seeing? I really want to see because this 3-1-6. Yo, I think Charlie can agree with me. What is this? This 3-1-6. How does this work in the Premier League football? Because all I'm seeing is our DM gets isolated, and then we're playing 3-0-7. That's what, or 4-0-7. That's what I'm seeing on the pitch. What is the style of play? Our attackers have one goal combined, 1 GA combined.
No, that's not
That's
good enough,
coaching.
man. That's
that
not good
cannot
enough.
be on players. I'm sorry. That's coaching. Even at our worst, with our attack was somewhat sustainable. So you cannot say, if this was happening last year, I'm okay. You're like, it's his first season. He has to get used to the squad. But we're almost at 18 months in his time at Man United. 18 months. By 18 months' time, you should be able to see a consistent style of play. Whether you have players that you got from other previous managers. Because I saw Ange Postecoglou have Destiny Udogie injured last week, and he brought in Ben Davies, and Ben Davies was doing the same principles that Destiny Udogie brings to Spurs. So Lindelof should be doing the same principles that Luke Shaw. Maybe he doesn't execute them to the same way, but he should be doing the same exact play style. That's what you do as a manager. You bring consistent game plan. You don't adjust opponent by opponent. This is not Brighton. He's not Graham Potter. That's okay. At the top level, at a top club, you have a consistent game plan. Sometimes you adjust, but you should have consistency. And there is no consistency right now at Man United.
You know what?
We're going to jump inside, but I would
in.
like to respond to that. But go on, Sam.
Before you come in, I'm going to bring Charlie in. In terms of the tactically, is Ten Hag one of the, I would say now, in terms of the top 8, top 9, is he like, where do you rank him now? Because you're looking at Unai Emery, you're looking at Ange now. They're all tactically a bit more, I would say, I don't know, man, just a bit more flexible in what they're trying to do, and it's fresh. It's energy. There's substance to it. Like, is Ten Hag there now in terms of what he's trying to do?
Well, bro, first of all, that Spurs game, we was cooking Spurs. We was cooking.
For what, for 20 minutes?
Bro,
come on, man.
No, the first half we cooked, and if that Romero penalty went through, it would have been a different outcome. I'm gonna tell you that.
Here we go.
It's honesty, bro.
Come
it's
on, man.
Honesty,
All right, but what does 45 minutes do for me? What about a 90? What about a full 90?
No, I agree with you, but I'm just saying you can see there's hope.
There's
There's hope.
That was 3 months ago. That was 3 months ago at this point.
Happens, there's hope at the end of the tunnel. That's
no. You know what the biggest proof is that there's no style of play? We went into that Galatasaray game and said, you were probably at that game because it was in Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And we had that game, full control of that game. And then we gave it up at the end. It came down to individual errors. And at the end of the day, we threw out the game. That's a game that, how many shots did they have on us that game? They scored 3 goals. I swear they had like 4 shots on target, something like that.
Yeah.
And that just proved to me that no matter who the opponent is, even when we're dominating them and we're 2-1 up, and it should have been more than 2-1 because they should have never scored that goal, we still find a way to lose these games. We have the only game that we all sat there and we were like, you know what? I'm relaxed about this game. I'm happy what I saw. Marcel, you can shake your head all you want, but what I'm saying right now is the truth. We've had over almost 15 games.
Just massively short-sighted.
The only game we were convinced about was the 3-0 win in the League Cup. And I'll tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to go to Newcastle, and they're going to bench like about 6-7 their players, and we're going to bench the ones that shouldn't be playing, aka Rashford and Bruno, and we're going to win and going to be like, see, we told you. Oh, just give Ten Hag some time. Did you see the football today? Yeah, it's because we're going to play another team that's depleted, and we're going to take the cancer out of our team, and then people are going to forget about the other 10, 15 games that I've watched all season. It's the same thing, rinse and repeat, and people want me to just back this blend. There you go, LFC Bedford. It was their C team. It was their C team, and that was the only convincing game, bro.
Let me go back before Marcel, you come in. I want to go back to Charlie, and then just in that question I said to you before.
Yeah, at the moment I'm extremely worried, and I try and look into things deeply. Last season was apart. There were some worries last season. Don't get me wrong. I think losing 7-0 should never happen at this level against your rivals. That was pathetic. That was really bad. The 6-3 at City, but overall, the season was still reasonably good. I think we had a nice balance throughout the team. We had a good spine. He held, as we've mentioned before, he made some big decisions that paid off in terms of players as well. dropping Maguire from the captaincy, Ronaldo, De Gea, etc. And I feel a bit sorry for Onana actually, because I feel like he would look so much better in a better team right now, and I think he's looked better already in the last few games. But in terms of comparing to different managers right now, it's difficult because you can't really compare the situations too easily, Saeed. Like that's what I always don't like when you compare like who's the best manager in the world. It's very difficult because obviously it's Pep Guardiola, but if Jurgen Klopp had Pep Guardiola's players for the last 15 years, then would we be saying something different? Like it's so difficult. So at the moment, it's not looking good at all for Ten Hag, and I'm very, very disappointed. But like somebody said before about comparing, I don't think you can compare Arsenal under Arteta and us now. Like people were saying when we had Ollie, oh, Jurgen Klopp didn't win a trophy for this many seasons. Let's keep Ollie. That's total rubbish. You're just comparing completely different situations. Just because one thing happens somewhere doesn't mean it's going to happen somewhere else. So you've got to talk about the context that we're in now rather than comparing to other clubs, because everything's different. So for me right now, he's not going to get sacked. So there's no point. He's not going to get sacked for a long. Even if we're.
Can I ask a question? Because two people. I don't think he's going to
get sacked this season. I don't think he's going to get sacked.
I don't think he gets sacked. But there might be a point where he should be getting sacked.
So do you think there's anything that happened this season?
Finish my point. Just 10 seconds.
Yeah.
For me, like what Marcel said, I'm more bothered in the next few months. I'm more bothered about the style and the approach than I am results. Like I understand it takes time. So I don't care if we finish 8th and we get to wherever we get in the chat. We'll probably get knocked out of the Champions League. Forget it. Let's say we finish 8th in the league, but actually the style of play coming to past Christmas when we get Shaw back, when we get Martinez back, and the style of play drastically improves, and we can actually see something. I'd rather that than a scrape 5th or scrape 4th again and just continue with this rubbish that we're playing right now. Because I think I'm looking for something more sustainable. The results will come eventually if we've got a better style of play. I don't know what you guys think, but that's what I'm looking for.
I'd be fine with that because, like, if you think about it, let's say the new sporting thing comes in and Ten Hag shows a consistent style of play the rest of the season. Let's say we finish 8th and we have once a week football next year. I'm fine with that because I'm gonna believe that we have a sporting director that can address the issues in the squad right now and get him better players to address it. That's fine. But let's say we're 10th and he's not playing consistent style of football. What is the point of keeping him here? Like, what is the point?
Exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly.
That's my point.
And to Nix's points from earlier. Go ahead, Say.
Yeah. No. I wanted to bring Marcel back into it because I wanted to ask him, like, if that point, Griggs has made there, is that we finish 8th, 10th, but then you still don't see a style of play. Are you still going to be happy with that? Because you said, you don't mind finishing there, but as long as it improves. What if it doesn't improve? Because there's two sides to the argument,
No, so they're just. I'm so frustrated, like annoyed because there's so many things that I want to come back on. There's so many things that have been said that's just crazy that I would want to come back on. But right now, he's doing what he had to kind of do last season, which is kind of make do with the situation that he's dealt with. That's one point. Now the second point is. He tried the 3-1-6 only for about 2 or 3 games, and it just completely didn't work. Yeah, 2 or 3 games only. Injuries have come since then, which means he's had to sort out situations, and this is the situation. That's why you're not seeing a consistent style of football, because he's had to revert back to something more basic, lots of injuries and a general crisis going on. Players are playing PlayStation instead of working hard in training.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. He's not around now. He's not around.
What is what it is, but I'm giving you the facts of the situation. That's a reality. So at the end of the day, our manager is gonna have to stick through this situation, get out of the mud, out of this situation, and then in the next season we'll see what he can do. I think the style of play, like Charlie said, will come back as soon as all the players come back. We don't have the core players that was so brilliant in defense last season. Do you get it?
There has never been a style of play to come back.
He hasn't.
Let him land.
He hasn't had his strongest midfield for 5 games this season. Mason Mount has only started 5 games this season. Martinez has only started 5 games this season. How many more do you want me to go through? Maguire is not meant to be at the football club. Evans is not meant to be at the football club. Scott McTominay is not meant to be at the football club. Sancho, I was saying, if you're watching anything I'm saying, I was saying sell Sancho for 40 million last summer.
Oh, that's fair.
So Martial's not meant to be at the football club. These are all predicaments that he has to deal with. Like, you give him some slack. Wait, give it some time, and then do you get it?
I just listen. I hear what you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry,
100%.
boys. Sorry.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. The reason I don't agree with it is that if you would have told me that last season, you told me, listen, coming in last season, we're gonna try to slowly develop a style of play. We're not gonna be looking at the results right now. We're gonna try to pick up the results as we go. But if we don't, it's more of a long-term project than a short-term project. I'll be like, okay, I hear you. The reason he is now struggling, and we need to admit that, is that he last year, and listen, I'm not saying he was wrong for doing it, because at the end of the day, we get frustrated when we don't win any trophies along the way, as Nick said. But he tried to salvage the season for what it is last season.
Yeah,
he knew coming in the first couple of games, I'm not going to be able to implement the style that I want yet, because I don't have the midfielder that I want, and I don't have the goalkeeper. He abandoned the way that he wanted to play until the year after. You just said that. You said he's trying to implement stuff this season that he delayed from last year into this season.
I just wanted to change the wording, and he didn't know that from the beginning. He tried his 10 hard football at the beginning, and then once he realized it doesn't work because I don't have the players, which is a consistent theme till this point now, then he had to revert back to a football that they understand. That's a clear difference.
But that's what I said. I said he noticed that he's not going to try to listen. If you want me to state exactly the first two games where he put Eriksen in a false 9, and then he put Eriksen in a 6, and we lost both games, and then he went and bought Casemiro because he knew he needed physicality in that midfield over a ball technician, then that's me being specific.
Yeah, I don't even think it was his. I'm sorry to cut you. I don't even think it was his. Like a lot of people that I speak to, and let me speak for myself. I don't think that's a Ten Hag signing, Casemiro. We needed something to shore it up, and his type of 6 is someone that brings the football out. So again, there was
that's
always
exactly the issue, Marcel.
Do you get it? That's not.
I'll tell you why. That's exactly the issue. This is exactly the issue for what. But listen, I understand. I'm not going to talk about the structure because I understand the club is rotten from top to bottom. I'm just talking about what he had to deal with. He wanted a certain profile. He gave up that profile, and he was like, you know what? I'll take Casemiro because it's better than nothing. I agree with you. It wasn't the signing that he wanted, but he took it. When we compare these situations with Arsenal, you've seen that Arsenal, no matter what, Arteta kept waiting until he got his profiles, which is why he lost the first 2 years, finished 8th. The first 2 years until he got a lot of the players that he wanted. One second.
There's a lot of revisionism, but it's not.
One second. I'll give you a chance to answer. If he didn't do that last year, and let's say we didn't sign Casemiro and we signed someone else, another midfielder that's not Frankie de Jong, but someone who's similar to a profile of Frankie de Jong, I promise you, we would have been here a year later seeing a style of play, and we're like, you know what? Imagine if we improve this personnel to someone who's a little bit more world class or just top-notch class instead of this player or that player. That's the one thing that he didn't do. And this is why when I sit here this season and I see that some of his signings last season compared to this season don't match, they all fit different styles of play and they can't play together. This is why I want him out, because I don't trust to give him another summer, because you said, listen, we got to give him at least one more year for him to implement what he wants. I don't want him to waste money for one more summer, because we don't have the luxury of spending that money like that, because we have cheap owners that don't care about the club.
That's fair, you know.
And listen, we don't have that city tax. City's tax is if Pep signs someone and he doesn't work, don't worry about it, Pep. You usually get more signings right than wrong. We'll give you a replacement right away. The goalkeeper didn't work. Claudio Bravo wasn't good. No problem. We'll give you Edison. Oh, the left back wasn't good enough. It's okay. We'll sign you another one. Oh, the center back wasn't good enough. It's okay. We'll give you Aki. We'll give you Akanji. We'll give you Diaz. We'll give you Stones. We don't have that. We can't afford to mess up too many times. That's not his fault. Don't get me wrong, but that's the situation that we're in. So when you're in a situation like that, you need to cut ties when you know, listen, this is not working, and I can't go further knowing that this won't work. For one reason or another, I need to cut ties right now. And then when Sir Jim comes in, because that looks like it's the inevitable right now, we'll have him lay another foundation on how we recruit another manager and how we recruit the players for him. And we're not going to give him full power. But in terms of giving this guy another summer, I am not on this. I don't agree with it.
Before you come in, this, I'm going to bring up super chats. Guys, it's 1.1K in here. Make sure you guys are liking the video, people, man. Some good chat in the building, man. And make sure you're subscribing to the channel as well, man. And to these guys as well. Surreal says, Erik Ten Hag's not communicator. So much confusion on what he means. Our players understanding what he's saying in the dressing room. Big up to YFC again. He said, Man United fans are arrogant, and the day the club will move forward is when they tell the fans to piss off. Sack the manager to achieve what? Exactly. Tiemann says, for the people that want the manager out, who do we bring in? We sacked Ten Hag today. We still don't have a DOF. We still don't have a structure. I mean, Myrtle Madness is around. He's around still. Big Ben says, how could Zizou handle all these stars and make them and as a team and win? Eric Ten Hag can't even control and make them work as a team with B stars. SMH. Nix, you're going to come in there and elaborate on something.
Yeah, for me, I think there's a lot of revisionism when it would only get turned to an Arsenal show. We talk about Arteta and the style that he had that people could understand, and why finishing 8th with Arteta was okay, quote unquote, because he had a style. Most of the Arsenal fans wanted him out. So this style that we talk about that existed now in 2023 existed back in 2020.
Also, he was a novice as well. He was also a novice as well.
Of course he was, but they wanted him out because the results weren't there. And remember, he signed Willian, Cedric Suarez, Pablo Mari. He signed a few bums that are nowhere near his team now. Lokonga, Tavares. And the style that he's playing this season, last season, and even the season they finished 5th, is not the same what he was playing the first 18 months. He was playing counter.
He was playing pragmatic. I agree with you.
Football. The way they won the FA Cup, 100% that way, and you saw that in his first full season. Both those seasons they finished 8th. But of course, when he's coaching, we see that those things come through at different points. But the point is, yeah, we can look at all. We can say, last season, if this was happening last season, I would have I would have been okay with it. I would have understood it. No, we wouldn't. Let's not fool ourselves. If we were playing like this last season, we would have been like, this guy's no better than Ollie. We're doing this, like, we just need to say what we mean and mean what we say. I don't know if we're saying it to maybe like appeal to the Ten Hag inners and stroke a part of the ego to say, I get it, I get why but I would have felt like this last year. No, you wouldn't. None of us would have. We're Man United. We shouldn't be 8th, 9th, 10th. We shouldn't be 7th, 6th, 5th. If we were playing like this last year, first year or not, we would have still been saying it ain't good enough. So let's start with that base and let's be real about it. What we're seeing right now ain't good enough. I think everyone, maybe not Marcel, I don't know, but I hope everyone.
Are you to Marcel's extremes though? Are you to kind of like finish 8th or whatnot? Like, are you that level?
I think everyone needs to understand. Everyone needs to accept that what we're seeing ain't good enough. There are no excuses for what we're seeing. Yes, there's an excuse as to why we're not challenging for the league or maybe playing as well as an Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, but there's no excuses seen for what we are seeing right now. However, does that mean we should sack Ten Hag now? No, for me, because we can talk about, well, look what Postecoglou's done in the last 3 months, or look what Arteta's done in the last 2 years. All right, look what Man United's done in the last 10 years. Sack Ten Hag now, and let's get De Zerbi. He's a flavour of the month. And
no. I don't want him.
I didn't even say that, Neeks. But I didn't even say that.
But Safi, I didn't mention your name either. I'm just saying things are said around the Ten Hag debate.
Everyone's rattled, man. Everyone's rattled.
I want to Zidane.
Someone said,
I wanted Zidane before Ten Hag came in.
One of my boys
I ain't saying sack Ten Hag for Zidane now. Like
someone texted me Graham Potter to the end of the season
as
an interim. What do you reckon? What do you reckon to that guy?
Bring back Ollie. It was better under Ollie. Bring him back. Like I'm hearing a lot right now. Finally, sorry, quick. I just wanted to say quickly.
Yeah,
but you gotta stick to it.
I did ask, is there anything that could happen this season for him to be sacked? Because people are saying that he's not going to get sacked for now. I think if we linger in the bottom half, like say Graham Potter was, I think he could be sacked. I don't think getting knocked out of the Champions League is going to get him sacked as it maybe would have in previous years, or even being mathematically unable to get top 4 like it was in previous years. I think because of the kind of the limbo that we're in terms of the ownership, I don't think they're going to make any.
I really think so.
I don't think they're going to make any rash movements whilst that ownership thing's still lingering. Unless we are literally in the bottom half of the table. I think we could see, and I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but I think we could see us finish 8th, have a nothing season, very inconsistent. Let's say, what are we on? 5 wins, 5 losses. So we get 19 wins, 19 losses, 57 points, and we finish 8th. I could see him being here to the end of the season, and then maybe Jim Ratcliffe or whoever getting rid of him at the end of the season. I think they're going to try to give him 1 summer.
This
With,
no,
like,
this is what I
with
wanted
the-
to
with
say.
the-
I just don't think there's any mileage in sacking him
Yeah, go on, Omar.
in the
After
middle of the
this.
season. That's it. I just don't think there's mileage. in it.
With Paul Mitchell coming in, I think we all have high expectations in Paul Mitchell and actually running the club, right? And I think that decision falls down from there. The decision has to fall down because moving forward, say they sack Ten Hag, moving forward, the next appointment has to be structured on why this man is or this coach is the one for the job. So I would rather wait for Paul Mitchell to come in and then at least work with Eric to see where this goes, because it doesn't just fall from the manager. We all know this. This falls from higher up. Shit rolls downhill. There you go. Shit rolls downhill. So everything's just gonna. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's going
on the head. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've been dealing with a lot of bullshit, other than off the field, more than and then on the field just is like the icing on the cake. Like it was Statement FC every day. We got some new bullshit, and then now Ten Hag gets diluted for a couple games, and we don't know what the fuck is going on. But personally, I feel like, and I said this when Sir Jim Ratcliffe got hired, when he bought the club. I'm sorry, and then Paul Mitchell was the talks. Griggs, you and I spoke about this. I feel like that was an actually positive. That was positive. You know, obviously the cut outcome is what most people wanted, but I'll take this Paul Mitchell because if you look at Villa under Emery, who was it that they signed? That director, was it Mochi? I think.
Mochi, yeah. He
Mochi.
came from Sevilla. The guy from Sevilla.
Monkey.
And everybody's
yeah.
picking up Emery, but it's actually behind the scenes as well. You got to look behind the
But
scenes.
but the thing is though, the problem is though, he said he didn't want to. Well, I'm not saying he didn't want it, but he wanted more control and a say in the actual plays he wanted. That's why we're feeling the way we feel right now.
Yeah,
There's
but
no guarantees that
if he
Ten
was
Hag
given the
will all of a sudden
players,
listen.
if he was given players that he didn't want, I would sympathize with him. I'd be like, you know what? Imagine what he would do if he got his players. Because we said that last season, if you guys remember, we were like, imagine when he gets another summer and he gets to spend more. And we all start dreaming about if that summer is with Qatar or new owners. We all were sitting there just dreaming of a great season when he gets more players. And he did get more players. But he got the players that he wants.
I get you, but these players we signed, we was all throwing parties for them, bro. Posting them on our stories.
Don't worry about me. I am a fan, Omar. Don't worry about me.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general.
Leaks, Marcel, everyone in here sitting in the stream does not have the credentials to sit here and tell you this is the player you should sign.
Bro, I got Everett hanging on the wall. I got Sancho hanging on the wall. Like that, you get what I'm saying?
Omar, that's what I'm saying. But Omar, we are fans. We don't know better. I get excited for any signing. I didn't know who Malacia was. I was like, Malacia, left back from Netherlands.
Now
that's the next Van Bronckhorst. Give him to me.
Let's
and
not
then look at him now. I don't rate him.
He's injured. He's injured.
You know what? The one thing I'll get around. The one thing I'll get.
Let me land real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Again. Last season, right? Casemiro. Now it's not his signing. Cool. It's not his signing. Arguably our best player.
Easy.
Lisandro Martinez. Arguably our best player. Right?
He's had a few hits.
Ericsson, up until he got hurt, that's when shit started going downhill. We could all agree. Malacia was okay for 13 mil. Shit, it was A+. For 13 mil, it was an A+. Ericsson was the free. I was hyped for him. The only fail has been Anthony. Yeah. He started off hot and then shit the bed. Cool. Yeah. We cannot be mad about that. We cannot be mad.
We have Mount there just running around.
When you started America Talks, one episode was about who give the captain band. All freaking 6 of us agreed to the fucking captain band to go to Bruno. You said Martinez.
That's right.
No.
You said Lucho.
No.
95% of the fan base said Bruno. 95. Now everybody's gonna play the Spider-Man meme.
No. Hold on. You're not about to do that. Listen. Don't talk about my name when I'm here because I can speak for myself. And you know damn well because I speak to you on a daily. I did not want this guy to be our captain. So don't sit here and do this.
I said Lucho Martinez.
Staffy wanted McTominay.
Oh my God!
but you know, Manda, before you go, I'm gonna read a couple of super chats here. Timon says Arteta played with a back three with David Luiz until he got his players he wanted. Then he implemented his system. And knowledge that if fans are complaining about football,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Let's not forget he didn't want Gabriel.
That's true.
I'm sorry, Saliba.
Yeah,
you didn't want Saliba.
Saliba. Yeah.
Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that.
That's true.
Okay, proceed.
If fans are complaining about the footballer manager himself comes out and says he will never play like Ajax when almost all his signings have ties to Ajax. Give him time to do what then? And that's my biggest gripe is that what are you doing then? What is your purpose? What is your aim? Like,
Yeah.
come on, like I'll start with you, Charlie. What is his aim? If he's
Oh, he
if he's
wants to play
saying
the
I
United
can't
way.
play like what is no, we don't know what the United way is because
Bubsy
every single
boy.
manager has
He
failed
wants to
under
play
that.
the United way. What?
So I don't want him to play the Man United way. I
So
want him to
what?
play his way.
Oh.
And we don't know, I'm not seeing
Yeah,
his
but what do
way.
you- bro,
Yes
what-
or no?
Now we want to play Ajax ball. That's what we. That's what we
No,
going.
no, I never said
that's
that.
the
Come on.
I
achievement.
never said that. I never said that. I never said that. No,
Well,
no, no, I
I'm
didn't
just
say
trying
that.
to.
Don't
I'm
say
just
that.
trying to understand.
I said play his way. What is his way then? He's saying I'm playing to the players' needs. I don't want you to do that because it's only two players you're doing that for, and that's Bruno Fernandes and Rashford. Everyone else, you come in, you come out, shake it all about. But them two are the most prominent players in our team. They play most games, so you can't do that. We didn't bring you in there to team to play with two players, and that's my biggest gripe. And that's where I come to you, Charlie. Is it sustainable to play for two players when they're two of our arguably most valuable players? If you look at it.
But you know what? I don't think he's even playing Bruno Fernandes. Like, I'm not even Bruno Fernandes' biggest fan, but he's even playing him out of position in so many games. So, like, it's just, you know what I think? I think Old Trafford, and I'm talking about Old Trafford. So I don't know whether everyone has been to Old Trafford, but like, if you go to Old Trafford and we try and keep the ball and recycle the ball, the fans get annoyed because old-fashioned Man United fans don't like controlled football. They like fast attacking, back and forth football.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think Erik Ten Hag, after his first season, I think Erik Ten Hag, we sort of did bits of both last season against the teams in the relegation zone. I think we've got all points that we could have got last season, if I'm not mistaken.
Except
I think
Leeds.
Except Leeds at home.
Except for Leeds, Leeds at home.
But generally, against the teams towards the bottom, we dominated quite a lot of games, particularly at home. We were controlled. But I think Erik Ten Hag's looked at it, and I think he's felt like Old Trafford, for some reason, the old-fashioned fans, they don't like controlled football. They just don't like it. They just like when Man United don't press, the fans get annoyed, even if it's the right thing not to press. And I think that's a big reason behind Erik Ten Hag. I know people are saying, and I said in the summer, you can have control without the ball, but we're not having control without the ball because you've got Marcus Rashford out of possession, who's a disgrace, who doesn't understand how to press. And I'm watching his body language is horrific. If that was Anthony Martial, who I also criticise, and the rest of the people criticise, a completely different situation. Jadon Sancho, I have to say it. I supported Erik Ten Hag with what he did at the start, but now I'm thinking Sancho must be thinking, well, after what these guys are throwing up on the pitch, the rubbish that they're throwing up, Sancho must be sat at home laughing because last season, at the start of the season, Sancho wasn't playing too well. But I think it was Leicester at home around that set of fixtures. Sancho was actually playing quite well when he was playing. He was actually playing quite well. He was far better than Antony. He was far better than Rashford as a winger. So honestly, I think without Sancho and with Antony out as well, recently with his case, we have not got any control at all of any football game, and I think that's a massive problem. So for me, Saeed, I think at this level of football nowadays, even Jurgen Klopp's best gegenpressing team in their peak, Liverpool still had so much control. Whether that was because they had such good attacking players that scored goals, which allowed them to control the games, or whether it is because they simply, their press was so good, they found ways to control games. And because of our disjointed press and because of the profiles we've got in the team in midfield, we can't control games of football. Who's that down to? It's both. It's the profiles and the manager. But when the manager's saying to players like Rashford, I'm never going to drop him, I'm going to keep playing him, I have to criticize that, and I have to hold him accountable.
Charlie, Spurs have lost Harry Kane, their best player, for the past I don't know how many years. The manager comes in, new to this team, doesn't know anyone yet, has no favorites, and he finds a way to sign the right players to play a certain style of football. I am not saying we need to copy certain teams, because that's what Omar was trying to allude to, that me and Said are saying. Forget the Ajax. Stop saying Ajax football. That word is pissing me off. The style of football in general, whether it's dynamic football like Liverpool, or whether it's possession-based in whichever variation you want, because City played different position than Arsenal, different than Spurs. Whatever it is, I wanted you to stick to it and you apply it. But because you're sitting there, and as you said, I'm not a match-going fan, so I wouldn't know what it is, but you're saying, oh, they get frustrated, this and that. If you're going by the outside noise and not what you truly believe in, that is already another indicator why I don't want you here. Because I remember Pep when he won his first league, and he cried after he won his first league. Remember, if you guys remember what he said they told me I wouldn't be able to play my style of football in this country, and everyone called me crazy. And he won the league 2 years later playing his style. I'm not saying win the league and cry and say you won the league playing your way, but I wanted you to believe in your way, adapt to a new country, because I get it, the Premier League is more physical, but you have to, at the end of the day, be strong enough to say that I am the leader, I'm the captain of this ship, and I'm telling you, this is what we need to do. I shouldn't be listening to Saeed in the stands booing because he doesn't like my press. I shouldn't be listening to Staffy TV on YouTube because he doesn't like that we're not scoring goals. I don't have to be listening to Omar waffling all the way in New York because he doesn't like the personnel that I'm playing. All that is outside noise. But yet again, this is one of the things that he hasn't been able to do.
No,
I just jump in?
So he's listening to the players. He's listening to the players, one, and two, he's doing exactly what you're saying. But coaches don't just have one style of football, they evolve. They're coaches, they have to redevelop themselves, so they come to the fore every season with something new. Pep's done that. So it's not just one style of football. We have to say the word Ajax football because that's what was said in the transcript. So our manager's now going to look at the word Ajax football and think of all his players to do Ajax, and look at his current squad now and say, well, I don't have those players, so I'm not playing Ajax ball. I want to develop my own style. He's been using words like transition football, turnovers, and all these things. So he wants that part of the new Man United way, plus the DNA of our football club, which Charlie alludes to, and everyone that's been at the ground. We go to every single game. We know that we're pressing hungry. We don't like to recycle the ball. But he's trying to implement elements of control. He's in the middle of a crisis right now, and that's why you're not seeing. Just give it time, guys. Honestly, I can't wait until later on down the road you guys see everything come together, and then I don't know what you guys are gonna say to me.
I will personally apologize to you, Marcel, if that happens, because that's how much I don't care about being right. I would rather the team win at the end of the day and me be wrong. But I'm sorry, brother. I do not believe in that at all.
Charlie, go back.
I definitely think there's good things that go on.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's good things that go on. It's just patience. I believe in patience. I'm not saying like, yo, it's been looking good. It's been looking fucking shitty, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he has yet to give me a. But last season he brought us a lot of hope, bro. He brought us a lot of smiles. He brought us something, and that's why we believed in it till last season. This season is just unfortunate.
Smiles FC. He brought us smiles.
Oh,
Smiles
I
FC.
mean, no, we cannot lie. We stepped up against big teams. We saw some.
Bro, most people were excited going into the season.
Yeah, bro. Remember Staffy doing preseason when we went to watch Arsenal? Oh my God, Kobe Mano was like the next De Jong.
Yeah. Staffy, you got hold it.
What am I meant to hold? Hold on. I believed going into this season. I didn't say that we're gonna have a shit season.
Oh my God, Sancho in the false nine.
What did he do with that? Thank you for mentioning that. And what did he do with that? He binned him, and he's eating Lunchables in the parking lot right now.
Let's be real. Did anyone expect Sancho to actually play false nine this year, even though it happened in preseason? Let's be real, bro. When he signed Højlund, that was dash out the window.
But why dash out your principles though? Why dash out something that you would try to do in preseason and then tell Sancho you're not playing?
That's
bad though. If you're a manager, you don't do that though. You don't implement something over preseason.
He's struggling with the pressure. That's
what I'm saying. Then
he's struggling with the pressure. Get out
of the kitchen. You can't handle the pressure.
This is the thing about Sancho, right?
I want to take it back to the first.
If you can't handle the pressure, get out of the kitchen. Simple. Get your bags and go back to Ajax. Say, you know what, I'm going back.
No, but
he had injuries from preseason.
Yeah, he struggled.
What he was trying to do.
All right. He also didn't handle preseason correctly. He did not handle preseason correctly.
Oh my God. I'm sick of the word injuries, because you know what it is, yeah? I get injuries. I understand it. It's part of football. But what he's doing to himself in the Manchester derby was not because of injury. He had personnel there that was available to sort it out. But he didn't do that. He had Mason Mount, one of his
tactic.
Wallahi, Saeed, other than...
hold on a minute. If he's talking about... Marcel, you talked about high-pressure football and winning the ball high up the pitch. You have Mason Mount, who's a perfect example of doing that. And you don't do that. Why?
Why? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I can answer questions. Thank you. He's just come back from an injury, Saeed.
Stop being injured,
No,
though.
no. He was playing full 90s after he came back from injury. His injury was 2 months ago now.
Just hold on.
Played 90 minutes.
Just come back from an injury. Think about what happened in the game, Saeed. I hope you was there, but you was there. So you saw in the first 10, 15 minutes, we could have had, before they created anything, what our manager told, that what the tactics that our manager implemented for the 11 players was giving dividends before City had an opportunity. Am I wrong? Was I not seeing that?
I just checked.
No,
Mason
City had a big chance in the 8th minute.
But that's what I saw, Saeed. Yeah, that's what I saw, bro. You can
listen to this.
But his tactic against City, because City were pressing in a 4-4-2, and they build up in with like 4 midfielders basically.
We're nullifying them. We're nullifying them.
Yeah, so we were trying to do counter-attack football and nullify them. We're blocking off the center.
You have better players to do that, though. You have better players to do that, right?
The wide areas.
What if you have better players to do that? What if you have better players to do that? What if you have better players to do that?
Well, okay, so you might have had better players to do it, but they've been looking injured. Against Sheffield, he only got a couple minutes. We're talking about Mason Mount.
Mason Mount.
I just checked. One
second. Mason Mount came back on September 26th. Today's October 31st. We played 2 days ago. So he came back 32 days before the game. And you're telling me he's still injured. He's still injured for 32 days when he started against Palace. That's just his main signing. I'll give you Varane. That's me being nice. But a month, and you're telling me he just came back from injury? A month? I'm sorry.
How many games did he play?
I don't rate him. I don't rate him myself.
If Mason Mount was injured, we would have found out by now. Let's be real. If Mason Mount was injured, we would have definitely found out by now.
Because there's such thing as match fitness.
There is no injury at Man United that gets hidden up.
So how do you build match fitness? Hold on a minute. How do you build match fitness then?
You have to play games. You have to come in 20 minutes, 30 minutes here. Are you going to rush him into a top flight game? Is the decision that you have to make?
Off the bench.
No. I'm not gonna utilize him from the start in a top flight game on what's happened previously. Scott's been scoring goals and he's been running around and doing all right. So I might play Scott instead, and then I'll try. What are you talking about? This is a reality of what you saw happen.
Well, he's not actually impacting the style of play.
And you know why? This is why I don't like injuries as an excuse, because no one told him to put Scott McTominay in the 10. There is no injury excuse for that to happen.
No.
Yeah, exactly. What about that then? What about that?
Why is Scott McTominay
on the wide area?
Why is Scott McTominay playing in the 10 for 45 minutes in the first half, and then why is he playing in the number 6 45 minutes later? How is that possible? How does he go from the number 10 to the number 6 in 45 minutes difference?
Versatility, isn't it?
Scott a 6. No, you know why? Because you know why he put McTominay in the 10? He put McTominay in the 10 to get him away from the ball.
Can I
put him in the number 6 where you need to get on the ball?
Can I just
let him reply? Let me just
answer his earlier question, Saeed. Because I just checked right now, because I don't like lies, man. He started against Palace. He started against Galatasaray. He started against Brentford. And then he came off the bench for Sheffield, Copenhagen, and then the City game. What more match fitness does a player need before a game like that?
When did he get injured?
I don't like lies as well then. I said to you, in that 32-game period, how many games did he start? How many games did he play?
So started 3 and then came off the bench.
Hold on. So from the 26th to October right now, there was 5 games you're saying, and 3 of them he started. And he started 3 of them, and the 2 latest ones he's only come on for a few minutes.
Well, that's exactly why I said it's
down to the manager's preference.
It's not about management. It's not.
If you get benched,
choices as well.
Marcel, you're beating a dead horse.
I have a question. Where did he get injured? Where did Mason Mount get injured? Because between that Brentford game and the Sheffield game, we had international break, and Mason Mount was over here in New York City with us. Where did he get injured? Someone tell me where he got injured.
What about back in the
club with Omar? Omar was in the club with Mason Mount, getting his jersey signed.
He was perfectly fine walking around the streets of Times Square.
I was at the strip club with Jenny Sancho. Stuff for the love.
No, but you know what, though, man? I feel like for me, I get what you mean. Even I don't rate Mason Mount, but I feel like I want to see what Ten Hag can do with the players he's brought in. I want to see his philosophy. If it makes it better and we're better as a team, Mason Mount, I'll be back it. But if you're not playing him and you're playing McTominay, who 1 minute, like Nick says, is playing in the 10 role, then all of a sudden he's a number 6, and then it's to the detriment of the team because we get exposed. That for me is a man that does not know what he's doing. Simple as that, man.
Because I have a question. Why do
he's run out of ideas?
Why do you think he came McTominay in the 6 on Sunday? Why did he put it?
So Amrabat had a shocker. The first half, Amrabat had a shocker, and he had to go and chase. He had to go and chase the game. For me, I didn't.
So you want your number 6 to chase the game in terms of scoring a goal? You're number 6.
You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me.
It was a bad decision. It was a bad decision.
So no, hold on, Neeks. So
no, can we agree with that?
Amrabat had a poor first half.
He would agree.
And 1-0 down.
Marcel, he's human. He's human. He can make a bad decision. It was a bad decision. Because we didn't need to
I'm
chase
not
the game.
saying. I'm not saying.
We were 1-0 down from a penalty.
I'm not saying that it's not a bad decision.
Okay,
I'm trying to explain why he done it.
I'm just checking that we agree that it's a bad decision. I was just checking.
Oh, but I'm not saying. You get it, Neeks? Because at no point have I not said that it's not a bad decision. I'm explaining to you the situation that he was in. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
But for me, he interpreted the situation wrong because there was no way that McTominay was going to have a better game than what Amrabat had in the first half. So make it
because I know that. Neeks, this is revisionism now.
No, it's not. In that
situation, when he's 1-0 down, he tries to make a more forward-thinking.
Marcel, when's the last time McTominay had a good game in the 6? Because that's not revisionism. That's his historical. He's never had a good game in the 6. So it's not revisionism. It was a bad decision, and even though he had a reason for it, at the time when he made it, we all said, what the hell? And after it was made, we all said, what the hell? We have to accept
I disagree with that. In the stadium, everybody wanted Amrabat off as soon as possible.
Can I come here just a minute? Just for like Ten Hag actually, I don't know whether everyone's watched it, but Ten Hag's actually said that was a mistake. He's actually admitted that in the press conference, he actually said that was a mistake what he did. The fact that he took off Amrabat. And every manager can make mistakes, but for me, I've been debating all day on Twitter. People have said he came off because he had a yellow card. I think that's total rubbish. I don't think that's the reason.
I'll tell you, you know why it's insane, Charlie? Because he did it the game right before it.
Yeah, exactly. And the game before, it wasn't so bad. It worked out to an extent because of who we were playing, and it kind of made a bit more sense. But Erik ten Hag doesn't understand one thing, and he's done this quite a lot of times. He takes off. I don't know whether you guys have noticed in many games, sometimes there's about 10 minutes to go. He takes off a defender and brings on an attacker. And the issue that people always think that if you bring on another attacking player, you've got more chance of scoring a goal. Sometimes you've actually got less chance of scoring a goal because you upset the whole balance of the team. You stop any build-up play from coming about. I know we're not trying to build up at the moment. We were going long a lot anyway. But what people don't realise is it upsets the balance of the team. And you're going to bring Mason Mount in. I was thinking, okay, if you take McTominay off, or if you take it was Eriksen off was the right change. Let's be honest, Eriksen off would have been the right change because you need a bit more solidity. So Amrabat, McTominay, and Mount would have made a lot more sense. But what I don't get, Marcel, is like this manager. I think a lot of us, even if Amrabat's having a bad game, he's our only number 6. So you have to keep your only number 6 on. We're only losing 1-0 at half time. We're only losing 1-0. We don't know what would have happened if we would have kept Amrabat on.
I honestly thought I thought he took him off because they're yellow.
No, he didn't. He came out and said that. Can I just say one more thing? He came out and said, I wanted to play more offensively. That's why I made the change. Yeah. So it wasn't because of the yellow card.
Guys, he always does that.
He does that against
Brentford.
It was too early.
Against Brentford, he took out Casemiro and brought on Eriksen and said, I want to be more offensive. I just told you he did it with Amrabat himself last game, not the City game, the one before it. He took him out at halftime and he brought on McTominay.
Yeah.
It was McTominay, remember? And I was raging at that. And then, Eriksen, sorry. Same thing again. This is a current habit of him taking out his 6. But if you take out your 6, when one time it's Casemiro, one time it's Amrabat, and they're two absolutely different players, it means that you actually don't know the difference between.
You know who did the same thing? Ralph Ragnick was doing the same thing when he kept putting.
Oh, that was horrific. Yeah, that was.
It's a similar situation.
That's what it reminds me of.
By the way, I'm not disputing that this wasn't a bad decision. I was just trying to explain as to why he done it, and Charlie's just outlaid it there. It was more forward thinking. At no point have I said this was a great decision. I've always, when you go back and check.
By the way, how many touches did Mount have? By the way,
why he's doing it.
He had 14.
How many touches did he have, Mount? Sorry, in terms of well, there you go. Again, he didn't even get. What was the tactics for Mount to come on as well? Absolutely shocking. Super chat say before we wrap up. Yeah, there you go. Omar, if you hire a man to do a job for you based on his success and experience at a prior job, if he abandons what helped him most, he has his requested tools and is failing. Do you keep paying him? That's a good question there. Omar, would you do that? What do you reckon?
I need you to break down that question again because it was just too much for me to absorb at once, my brother.
So basically, if you hire a man,
I'm a little dyslexic. If I hire a man to do a job for you based on his success, right? So we're talking we hired him because of his term at
yeah,
right. If he abandons what helped him the most, he has requested tools. Okay, he has his requested tools. Did he get all his requested tools though?
Yeah,
most of them.
And I think
no, even that's revisionism.
No, but come on, man. Okay, let's not.
No, let's not go through it. But
hold on, Meeks, my fault.
He didn't get Kim in jail, De Jong.
Now I think his requested tools actually showed up. Ball one. The only thing that we could all question is Mason Mount. Why was he brought in? Right. So I don't want to blame his signing, and neither do I want to blame Aaron Ten Hag. And I think he done his job with the youngsters that are coming up. Garnacho, the Mainos, the Palestris, they're getting Hannibal. They're getting burned on the field. So personally, I think he was going in the right direction. He's just getting spanked up. He's getting spanked up.
Omar, let's just call it what it is, Omar. Omar, listen, you're a chef, Omar. And if I hired you because you make very good steak, and I'm like, Omar, this is the best steak I've ever had. I'm hiring you for an event. I need you to make me steak that day. And I bring you the ingredients. And you're like, you know what? I'm not making steak. I'm making something else. I'm never making steak. What the hell did I hire you for? I hired you because of the recipe that you done the first time.
No.
You can't do it no more. Then I will fire you because I'll be like, that's not what I hired you for. I hired you because I had the steak that you did the first. Bro, you're missing the point. He was given the tools. Recipe.
I don't think that's straight to Ten Hag. You could change your style.
I didn't say all of them. Listen, it's not.
He's allowed to change his style of play.
Out to me, hold up, Griggs. I'm sorry.
And it's not working
to make you an amazing steak, right? And you was like, yo, I love how you usually do it. So now I need to impress you, and I want to make it even better. So now I'm gonna try to do more little. You know what I'm saying?
And you made it worse. And the steak now is not well done, Omar. The steak now is like rubber. So I'm firing your ass because you failed at your job.
No, you communicate. Sir, you communicate with me that you didn't like it. And then we work together as we should be doing it with this.
Just kidding. I would never hire you for an event anyways. I would never hire you for an event anyways.
To be fair,
I get low in the kitchen, y'all. I really get
low, man. Yeah. You're killing his bag, man. You're killing his bag, man. You're Jeff Omar if you need him in New York.
No. You see how I get now, Saeed? I gotta look.
Yeah. Nah. I'm hiring Omar because I know what he's about, man. I know what he's about. But Timon says here, Ajax are at dead bottom of the Dutch league right now. Why? Because they got rid of the structure they had Overmars. You need structure to succeed. Listen, I heard that Ten Hag's there was another guy that was next to him that was the brains of what he was doing, man. I can't lie. So, I mean, I heard a lot, man.
Yeah,
Tomorrow,
quickly. Let's get him, then. Let's get him.
No, because he got sacked by Ajax last year. No, let's not get him because he got sacked by Ajax.
I don't know. Ten Hag makes mistakes. It's fair to point them out. I think that's probably the fair. Tomorrow, quickly. Are we going to beat Newcastle, Charlie?
If we play my team, we'll win. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Omar, are we winning tomorrow?
What's Charlie's team, though? I want to know his team.
Yeah, all right. You know what?
Can I be left for last? Go with Staffy.
Yeah. What? Go with Staffy. No. Let me ask you what his team is. What is your team, man? Charlie.
Yeah, Anana in goal. Dallo, Varane, Maguire, Reguilon, Amrabat, Hannibal, Mount, Martial, or Garnacho, whichever one. It doesn't really matter. Either will be better. Martial or Garnacho, Hoyle and Anthony.
Okay. I like that team, to be fair. Neeks, are we winning tomorrow? And would you change anything on there?
Firstly, any player that you mentioned right now stinks to me. I have no faith in any of them, whether it be Hannibal, Onana, Højlund, Martial, Rashford, Bruno. I got no faith in any of them. If are we gonna win, it got to penalties, and we better hope Onana pull something out the bag.
You want to sit through penalties, Neeks?
Yeah, we deserve it.
I don't deserve it. I'll tell you that.
Onana comes big. Pause. He gonna come.
Hey,
big.
yo.
I paused it. Too late, my brother.
Yeah, penalties. We go for on penalties.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Marcel first. Marcel, confident tomorrow. Light work, innit?
2-1. 2-1 win. We should be getting back to confident ways, man. And I think, if they play their B team, which I think they might do, that's an opportunity for us. I know Ten Hag usually goes with his strongest side, so maybe a 2-1 or 3-1 win. I think Ten Hag, his biggest issue right now, if we're talking seriously though, going forward, it just has to be a little bit more creative with his selection, like using Hannibal, like Charlie said, players like Hannibal, maybe starting Garnacho, being brave and dropping the likes of Rashi, the likes of Bruno. If he's not playing in the 10, remove him from the wide areas and wait for obviously our back four to come back, and then we can start seeing a proper style of football. But yeah, tomorrow should be a nice win. Happy fans at Old Trafford, man. 2-1, 3-1.
Yep, absolutely. Stuffy, what are you saying? Anything tomorrow, confidence-wise? Newcastle, they might want to get revenge, man.
Nah. I already said it. Listen, they got Arsenal on the weekend. They're gonna make about 6 subs. They're not gonna go with their strongest team. We're gonna beat them. Gotta be watching United View after the game. Marcel's gonna he's gonna look at the camera. He's gonna be like, "Stuff, I told you so." Believe in the manager. The manager got a plan for us, and he's gonna be hyping up a win against Newcastle. Listen, I'm not subscribing to that. We will win. I agree with Charlie's team. I think if we do play a team that the thing about his team, he named a team that's gonna be good on the ball. They're gonna keep it simple. And as crazy as it sounds, we actually need a team that just keeps it simple. And I feel like that's what we're going to see tomorrow. Thank God it's the League Cup, because that's the only time I can look to a game and know that Bruno's not going to be in the lineup. So anyways, I'm going to go with his team, and I think we're going to win about 2-1, 2-0, something like that.
Okay.
I don't think tomorrow's about the win, personally, me. I definitely think it's about rotation.
Hey.
And I can't wait to see like the likes of Kobe.
He's not playing tomorrow. He's playing right now.
Playing today.
He's playing right now. Yeah, he's playing.
He's not playing.
Well, even better.
Another decision that's baffling. Another decision that's baffling again.
Hey, maybe it's too a little competitive. Carabao, they get a little rough in there, but a little elbow or two.
But he had him on the bench for City, by the way.
He's playing against a League 2 team right now. It's probably as physical as you can get.
So
thanks, Greg. Thanks for the boys.
Let me just say this: he didn't have him on the bench for Copenhagen, but then he had him on the bench for City. But then he's not going to be on the bench tomorrow.
I mean, there's a reason why he wasn't on the Copenhagen bench. He played the Youth Cup game.
Well, exactly. That's why he sent him to that.
Oh yeah, Youth League. Yeah.
That's the manager.
Story. Yo, I'm gonna give us a 1-0 win, because there's gonna be a bunch of young kids. My main goal tomorrow is just to see the guys who want opportunity to get on that field, and this is a perfect shot. But according to Staffy, they're not going to get burned anyways on the weekend, so it really doesn't matter, right, Staffy?
What was that? Say that again.
I said, according to you, if they even get burned this weekend, they're not going to get burned. You know what I'm saying? If they do good on tomorrow, they're not going to even get to play on the weekend.
Oh no, we'll see Bruno Ball back on the weekend, and I'll see Said in the rain again, raging again. Is it an Old Trafford?
Pull him away.
You're a coward. You're a coward, man. You're a coward, man.
I tell you. Said looks forward to away games because he knows at least when they lose, he's at the comfort of his home.
I'm at home, man.
He's sitting at home, relaxed with his drinks next to him and his snacks. He doesn't have to stand in the rain and rage.
Feet up
it's
with the
always raining after the game. Just shows you the misery of Old Trafford. Always raining. Yeah, even Charlie and Marcel, every single time it's raining after the game.
I'm not gonna lie, it always rains in Manchester though. It's pretty miserable.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying, like, it's always after the game though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Before the game, you're cool. After the game, the rain just comes out of nowhere. Griggs, what are you saying?
Bro, honestly, for tomorrow's game, I don't care whether we win. I don't care whether we lose. Is what it is. One less competition to focus on, because what does the Carabao Cup mean to me this year? Nothing, to be honest with you. We won it last year. Good for us. I want to see rotation. I wanted to see Kobe play, but he's not playing tomorrow. That really hurt me. I want to see him get 45 minutes. I want to see Hannibal, because Eric Ten Hag on September 29th said that Hannibal brings infectious energy to the team. He motivates everyone, and he's seen 45 minutes.
He's not available anymore. All of a sudden, missing.
I like to see him play, and I want to see this Ballon d'Or dude play. I want to see if he exists, because Onana's going to AFCON. So I want to see what our backup keeper looks like. It's probably a good opportunity to see him. Maybe Palestri, get him a start. I want to see Bruno and Rashford job. I've been defending Bruno and Rashford to the best I can the last month, but there's no reason for them to be playing tomorrow. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason. Take him out the firing line. Rashford already he has the news reporters on his case because he went to a birthday party last night. Whatever. Just get him out the firing line. Let him sit for a game. Just get out, and then if we win, great. If we lose, whatever.
First. Listen, that's been the end of the show, man. It's been a good show, man. Full of debates. Big up to everybody who's super chatted and whatnot, supporting the channel. Big up to Knowledge, Teamers, everyone here. Big up Knowledge as well. If
Yeah, shout out
Shaz,
Knowledge with the
Shaz, yeah.
like,
United
see me
View.
in the kitchen. Supposed to be a chef.
Yeah.
See me in the kitchen, bro. See me in the kitchen.
Yeah. There you go.
Much love,
Charlie,
Chef
it's been a good
Boys.
one, man. Maybe we get a thread on the tactics, maybe, and why it's going wrong for Ten Hag. I don't know, maybe something there. What do you reckon, Charlie?
The university, last year of uni, man. I've got the dissertation. I've got like so many meetings going on. I've just got to like. Luckily, I've got a good distraction. So, but yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. Good to have a good debate. And I've enjoyed it. It's been a good debate, man.
Yeah, it was entertaining. For an hour 42 minutes, it was a pleasure, boys.
Yeah, man. Big up Omar, man. Big up to you for coming on, man. And like I said, if you want to get a chef, don't listen to Stuffy. Chef Omar is ready in New York.
I get what? Yo, we're not gonna do this talk here, man.
A lot of this guy's a fraud, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. It's not no United talk right now. We talking salt, pepper, herbs. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Come on. Big up to you, Leaks. It's been a pleasure. Big up to you for coming on, man.
Yeah, big up yourself. Thanks for having me. Good discussion, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's less toxic than holidays because I feel like we know where the club's at, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we come to a mutual agreement somehow. But yeah, man, big up to Leaks for coming on. Griggs, big up as well, usual, coming on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate always the invite. Good to talk with my boys. Obviously, New York City boys, Chaz, Neek. Good to do content with Neeks and Marcel. First time.
Yeah, no, for real, yo. Great debut with the boys. I met Charlie before, but great debut.
So,
yeah, definitely.
We got Hamza Chaudhry.
Big up. Marcel, listen, big up, man. Always, man. It's always love, man. You get me? What are you saying?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, Saeed, man. And thank you to everyone, man. It's a really good conversation today, man. So I appreciate you guys. And hopefully we can do it again, man. Because at the end of the day, man, we all support this club, man. And we all love this club.
Absolutely.
We want to see the team win, you know, at the end of the day. So that's the main focus. And regardless of whoever's managing the club, no one's bigger than the club. And, you know, hopefully we can just see things turn around. So, man, I appreciate you guys. And let's do it again next time, man. For sure.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, man, Stuffy TV, I think you're live straight away after this. So if you want to head over, he's going to be talking more in depth on the Newcastle game. Big up Stuffy as usual, man. Big up, bro.
Yeah, big up for having me. Yes, as you said, I will be. I'm doing a back-to-back. You know, I'm putting that work ethic like Hoyland. You know, we're not walking on the pitch like Rashford. Now we're putting the ethic in. So hard work. I will be doing a preview for the Newcastle game. I have a Newcastle fan on it, so we'll be talking about both teams. But big up for having me, Saeed. Big up, Charlie. First time working with you. Neeks, you can sit down because you're always adding me every time Onana does something. But when Onana makes a penalty save, I don't hear from you. So
I was celebrating. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, sure. and Marcel, listen, it was a heated debate, but you know, it was a pleasure meeting you, my brother. Definitely a good show. Griggs, as always. Omar, don't even talk to me, bro.
Yo, guys, they have pro clubs beef. That's why they're arguing every time. They got pro clubs.
This Omar guy, by the way, he's the worst pro clubs player on God's green earth. And he just won't admit it, bro.
Yo,
but
Saeed,
you know what? Because
Saeed, he did a poll. You know what's so funny? He did a poll on who's the best player, and I was voted. How ironic!
I'll tell you what. You know why?
Nah, you know that poll was heavily influenced by Hussein. That's not. I should have been number one.
He's a fan
favorite. But who was number two? If he was number
one, Omar could have been number two, but I should have been
number two. Hold on. He's just a fan favorite. Let me tell you
listen,
guys something about this Omar.
We gotta go.
Let me tell you something about this Omar guy. Number one, go subscribe to this channel, Footy Fanatics FC. Decent guy, just shit EFC player. So he won the vote like Messi won the Ballon d'Or. It's just a popularity thing, bro.
Muhammad Salah. I'm Muhammad Salah.
Muhammad Salah. But now listen, man, big up to everyone. Make sure you follow Stuffy TV, and we'll see you next week, people. We're out.